Hello world. Welcome to Python Machine Learning on the Edge. Machine countdown begins. 0987654321.
Hello world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Robothought Zero to Hero series on machine learning on the edge using Jetson Nano. Alright guys, we are on lesson number 2, and in this lesson I am going to show you machine learning mean, median and mode. Alright. So basically guys, the mean, median and mode are nothing but these are techniques. Okay, these are basically techniques that are often used in the ML, in the machine learning areas. Okay, so it is important for you to understand the concepts behind them. It's very basics, it's very important, and you got to start understanding in deep. All right guys. One thing please understand, I am not going to teach mathematics or algebra or statistics in this tutorial guys. I am going to straight away jump you guys into the machine learning algorithms and start playing around with Python. Okay, but very important for you to be strong in mathematics and statistics. It's the most important thing guys. So I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I am not going to take any classes on that. So guys, the example which I gave you about data sets, right? So let me just open that up. So this is the data sets which I talked about in the previous lesson. I hope you understand how this data works, right? How the database looks like, or how it is basically, right? It's not about the look and feel of the database, but it's about the concept of database and data and array. All right. So now what we need to do is, we need to, what actually basically we can learn from looking at the group of these numbers, right? What do we learn, right? In machine learning, there are often three different types of values which place around pretty often in around the data, and those value types are called mean, median and mode. Okay, so mean is basically the average value. Okay, it's basically the entire average of the numerical values, and the median is the midpoint of the value. Okay, and the mode is the most common value. It's kind of repetition. So if you look at the example, the data example, say let us register the speed of the bikes, right? So if you look at the right, at the third or fourth row, right, you can see all the each and every bike has got specific speed, right? Like 99, 86, 87, 101, 3, 87, 86 and kind of thing. So what is the average or the middle or the most common speed value, right? So that is where your mean, median and mode comes into picture, right? So basically the mean value is the average value. To calculate the mean, we need to find the sum of all the values and divide the sum by the number of values. Okay, it's a kind of playing around with the mathematics. Now the most important aspect is, since we are going to use Python, we have a library called Numpy. All right. In the previous lessons in the robotic series and in the vision intelligence series, I showed you how to install Numpy, Matplotlib and a couple of other libraries, right? OpenCV and kind of thing. I hope you guys have done that, and your Jetson Nano is ready with that. And because we will be using Numpy and SciPy very often in repeated series of this particular lesson. All right guys, now what we need to do, let me log into my Jetson Nano and show you an example of mean using Numpy, how it works, and we will write some code. All right, now I am going to log into my Jetson Nano. I have already logged in. Let me enlarge my screen. I hope you guys can see it. All right, now let's do one thing guys. Let's create a folder called machine learning, okay, on our desktop. I have already created. Let's open the Visual Studio IDE, which I showed you how to install in Jetson Nano. I hope you looked into that lesson and you are ready with Visual Studio IDE. You can also use PyCharm, but I prefer to use VS IDE because it's very easy and it's easy to play around. Let me double click, open Visual Studio. All right, and I already have the test program, so you can basically go to file and open the folder. Okay, the folder which you created as the machine learning. So let's say ML. My machine learning folder is here. And then what you need to do, you can create a Python file in that folder, right? Go to machine learning as a folder and then create this new file icon. Let me just make it a little bigger. I hope you guys can see this. Preference. Let me go to settings. The font size is 20. Let me make it as 25 so that it is much bigger for you guys. All right, now I have created a small a test Python file. Okay, so what we need to do, let me show you an example of how the mean works. All right, so let's go to, first we need to import numpy. Okay, import, how do we do that? I showed you all this in the previous series, guys. So import, see, automatically we can get that drop down. Import, okay, numpy. Okay, you can also say import numpy as np, but this is not required for now. I'll tell you the reason why, because we are not going to use as np and np as a short keyword across the code, right? So let's just leave it as import numpy, and then let's look at the speed of the bike. So let's say, for example, let me go to that example again. Okay, now here the bike speed is 99, 86, 87, 88. All right, let's input all this. Okay, let's declare this in our Python. Okay, so that we have a clear set of data. So let's say import numpy has been done and speed. Okay, speed equals square bracket. We need to use the square bracket, guys. All right, because there's an array, it's a set of array. Say the speed is 99, 86, 87, 88, 111. And which was that other example? Let me take a look at the list of speed what we have. Okay, 111, and then 86, 103, 87, 94, 78, 77, and 85, and then 86. All right, now to calculate the mean in numpy, what we need to do is x equals numpy, there you go, numpy dot mean. All right, this is the function, this is the method we are calling. Okay, mean. And then what is that you want from the mean? From the speed, from speed. Okay, and then we need to print x. Now let's run this program and see what output we get. We should ideally get the mean value of this entire speed values. Run Python file in terminal. I am not getting anything. Run Python file in terminal. Okay. Why is that? Maybe I need to reduce the size of the IDE on the screen while sharing it with you guys. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah. Okay, there you go. So at the bottom, if you can see in the IDE terminal, in Visual Studio terminal, it should show the output. Why my screen is behaving so odd? Yeah, okay, there you go. I hope you guys can see at the bottom. Can you see that, guys? So the mean value, one second, let me just try to enlarge it a little bit. Yeah, so alright, so here if you see at the bottom, if you run Python file, right click and run the program. For example, right click, run Python file in terminal, and you can see the mean value is 89.7623 whatever, right? So it's so easy, guys. Using Python you can play around, but you need to remember all these methods and functions like mean. For example, numpy.mean, we are importing the numpy library, and then we are playing around with the data sets what we had, which I showed you in the previous lesson number 1. Those data we are importing, we are just manipulating those data and trying to calculate the mean. All right, that's how it works. Now let's do one thing. Now what we need to do, we can basically look at the next aspect, which is median. So what is a median? A median value is basically the value in the middle, right? Middle of this entire set of array. After you have sorted all the value, basically to calculate the median you need to sort it out from the lowest to the highest, right? So that's how it works. It is very important. So that's the way the system works, and that's the way your numpy library is going to calculate. Interestingly, to calculate the median, we have a method in numpy module, and that method is called median, right? So let me show you how that works. So all you need to do, just delete this mean. Okay, let's delete this mean to median, median. There you go. You can see at the drop down itself. Right now what we can do, we can run this program. That will show up your median value. Run Python file in terminal, and there you go. Can you see the value, guys, at the bottom on the IDE terminal, right? The Visual Studio IDE has got its own terminal at the bottom, if you can see, right? You can enlarge it, you can reduce the size, whatever you want to do. Okay, so this is how the median works in numpy. All right, now let's take another example, that is mode, right? So what is a mode? Basically the mode value is the value that appears the most number of times in your database, in your data sets, a repeated value, right? For example, 99, 86, 87, all the speeds which is mentioned, if any of the bikes has got similar value, that is what is called the mode. Now the SciPy, there's another Python library called SciPy. Okay, it's called scientific Python, which basically does the scientific calculation of the data what you load into your Jetson Nano. All right, so that SciPy library has got a method called mode. Okay, you can use SciPy library and do that by just importing SciPy and the stats. Okay, I'll show you how to do that, and we will proceed. Now instead of numpy, let me kill this program. Okay, instead of numpy you need to import scipy. So guys, the scipy library I showed you in the previous series how to install it. This will be a complete bundle of libraries you can install once for all when you start importing when you start installing numpy, right? I showed you the command, the terminal command, how to. If you don't remember, go back to that lesson and install scipy, numpy, matplotlib, pyplotlib, everything. It's very important that those are the tools, libraries which we will be using again and again in machine learning lessons. All right guys, now let's say from SciPy, see it's already there. From scientific Python, import stats. There you go, import stats, and the speed is, we will leave the data as it is. And what we need to do, we need to x equals to, since there is no numpy, we can remove numpy. X equal to stats dot, the function, the method name is mode. Okay, mode, stats dot mode, and then what we need to calculate, the speed of the bike which is being repeated. All right, now print x. Now let's see what happens. Okay, run Python file on terminal, right click. Okay, there you go. I am not able to see, it's little small. Let me just enlarge the screen. Right, so the mode is equal to array 86 and the count is 3. So the number 86 has been repeated for 3 times. That is what the output says, right? Your entire list of bikes, what you have, the speed of 86 has been repeated 3 times. So that is what this particular function says, right? So it's so easy guys, it's very easy once you start playing around with the system, and we can do tons of more things in the coming lesson. So what we can do is take back this particular lesson, and I suggest you guys start practicing and make sure that you get used to this mean, median, mode and the methods in Python using numpy and SciPy, what I showed you. Practice it guys. Practicing from the basics is very important, because as we get advanced level, it's going to confuse and you'll get lost, right? There are tons of other things which will happen on the way while learning machine learning algorithms and stuff. So better practice the basics and make yourself strong in the basics. So these, the what tricks I am showing you, the method, these are very basics and fundamentals, but make sure you practice using your Jetson Nano and play around with the data. All right guys, I am going to be back soon in the next lesson. I hope you like the basics of machine learning. We are going to get into more details using the same set of data, and I am going to be back soon. Bye bye.